Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
Ryan Seymour, king of Comic Town here in Columbus, Ohio.
Yes. I need to understand what in the world happened that it was such a boon for books this week. There was
ridiculous.
A bunch.
It was ridiculous.
Like, I put away, let's see, I've got 6 here. I think I might have 6 that I put away.
Yeah. Yeah, our new release section has 100 facings.
Oh my God.
We had to make cuts. We had to pare stuff down. This week was stupid.
Does that mean that the industry is thriving? Or is there a sentiment that maybe we are producing too much for a healthy industry?
I think it's both.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Their sales are better than they've been in a long time.
Okay.
The quality of books is also up. There's so much good stuff. It's
that.
like another golden era as far as creativity and writing and art.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a bunch of stuff that's coming out that I don't know that it. I don't know. I want to phrase it that way. There are choices that publishers are making in terms of what they're allowing to be produced.
Okay.
That I don't know if they're needed.
Got you.
Which is like
it's not necessarily feeding the market, it's just in the market.
It's just there. And it's usually the big ones. It's usually Marvel and DC where they're like, oh, here's a miniseries about a character that nobody cares about.
Nobody's asked for.
And we have to order it. So it's like that kind of glut of stuff. Whereas like on the smaller publishers, there's really, really cool stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that.
We'll definitely talk about that.
So yeah. But then there's also stuff like when the big publishers do stuff that like punches me in my Gen X loins.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Okay. So we've read some amazing things.
Yes.
On our Goodreads that you should read. We've got 2 that are the same, and then 1 that's totally different.
Yes.
I'm coming in at about $12 for this one.
Yeah, I think it's about what? 4.
Same.
4? Yeah,
so
it's about 12.
Okay, awesome. So if you have an additional $12, I guess in this case 16, if you were to pull from what we're definitely doing, where do you want to start?
All right, so this is the different one for you because it's Mark Russell, and I was about to pick it up, and I just didn't.
Choices were made, sir.
Yeah.
Choices were made. Traveling to Mars, Mark Russell, Roberto Melli. Here's the quote on the back. My life was never very interesting. This is fantastic. Okay, so this is from ABLAZE. I don't know them. So brand new imprint. ABLAZE Publishing. Yeah. They're based out of Portland, Oregon, which is kind of a like mecca for creators right now. Yeah. Bendis lives there. David Walker lives there. Lots of folks. Dark Horse is actually based out of there.
Oh,
so,
yeah, nice.
Huge. Okay, so yeah, these are some people I'm gonna start following immediately. Arancia Studio. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm going to start following them. Okay, so here's the concept. Earth's resources are dwindling.
I know.
Yeah. That part's not fiction.
Yeah.
What we do find, though, is that one of the rovers that we sent to Mars has actually picked up on a resource of natural gas on Mars that is plentiful enough that it would sustain Earth for a few decades.
Really?
So, essentially, whoever can claim this is the wealthiest person on Earth. So there's this beautiful, mission to Mars, and we're finding out about this guy who is going. His name is Roy Livingston, and the interesting part about it, the crux of it, is that they've determined that the hardest part about sending someone to Mars is getting them back.
Well, yeah. You have to have a completely separate apparatus for that.
If you have to bring them back.
Oh.
What if you didn't?
I could think of a bunch of people to send.
So, again, like, that's part of the hook of this. And so this guy is elected to go.
Yeah.
And there are some rules, ramifications, whatnot, but it's such a great premise where I was like, this was a huge surprise for me.
Yeah.
Had no idea what to expect. Really enjoyed it. So, like you were saying, when indie darlings pop up with something, you go, this is cool.
Yeah.
Right here.
It's that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you afterwards why he's perfect for this.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did a quick flip through, and his hat.
His hat it's wonderful. It's that's an heirloom right there.
Really?
Oh, when you find out where that hat came from, you'll be like, I want that hat.
Oh man,
I want that hat.
I want to go to Mars.
But listen,
baby.
All right.
from Image Comics, Dark Ride #2. Second print #1 came in this week as well. So if your shop is sold out of #1, they can jump back shouldn't in. Be. Yeah, because it's back. Josh Williamson, creator, writer. Josh's stuff is awesome. Andre Bresson, creator, artist. Awesome. Adriano Lucas, colors. Pat Perceau, letters, covers. There's a whole bunch of them. So this story takes place if Walt Disney, instead of going family friendly, went horror, and was successful still, that's this.
That's what that'd be.
So Dark Ride.
We live there.
I know, right? So like this family, they've got this park, and it's starting to do bad. Okay. And it's like that evil horror version of Disneyland, and they're trying to figure out what they can do to make it better. There's like Succession style battles over like there's a brother and a sister that they're the heir apparents, and they're trying to figure out who really is going to get the lion's share of everything. But the best part is this family interaction. Yeah. Whereas like the brother is trying to be a good dad, the sister is out there. Like, I'm not even going to talk about the stuff that she's into. Okay. But there's this supernatural aspect to it. So like it gives you these like funny moments, these kind of heartwarming moments, and then slides in these like Marvel movies. Like you'll have this like horrible thing happen, and then you'll have a comedic thing to break it. It does the opposite, where it's like fun, and then it breaks it instead of like something funny, something
that's not okay.
Yeah, totally horrifying. And yeah.
What do you mean?
Right?
No.
She's helping.
No.
She's helping.
No.
Daddy's little helper. Oh, princess, thanks for helping. Put the knife down. So
that's
right. And so it's like this really cool thing where you're like, oh, family's awesome, and then that happens.
And then that happens, you're like,
yeah. So if you're looking for something that's going to have you laughing, and then right when you're at the peak of laughter, switches up and hits you with something horrifying.
That's it right there.
Dark Ride's the way to go.
It's like the perfect mixture between Halloween and Thanksgiving. You just want to put that together.
Right?
Dark Ride. There it is. Okay. Speaking of things that are horrifying, but kind of amazing, let's get into the Purple Oblivion, man.
Right.
From Sumerian, formerly Behemoth. Oh, hell Behemoth. Now hell Sumerian. This is from Ian E. Pliskin, Diego Simone.
The writer of Heavy Metal Drummer. Which the trade paperback came out this week for Heavy Metal Drummer. Yeah.
So you're happy.
Oh, and retailers. Before we get into the description. All right. Sumerian, you can get through Lunar now also. So it's not just Diamond, it's also Lunar. Lunar is offering limited returnability. So if you're trying to figure out how to order something you don't know, go Lunar, go returnability, find your ceiling.
There you go. And then you can be competitive in your choices.
Yeah.
Okay, so considering that we have this benchmark of Heavy Metal Drummer, which was a ride. Like, there's no other way to put this. I kind of was like, I don't know what to expect from this. And that level of non-expectation was exactly the thing to expect.
Yeah.
I don't know which part creeped me out more. This opening, which goes super Breaking Bad. Like, I was like, maybe, and it might be because I'm actually watching Breaking Bad for the first time right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's a choice. Or this scenario here, where I'm like, I don't even want to know what this darkness is. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's trippy. It's, I don't know, man. It's like a pop bad 80s movie in the best way possible.
Yeah. So the linear story is there's some kind of science experiment going on.
Yep.
And there's some kind of independent pharmaceutical rep entrepreneurs.
That's the way to put that.
That are intertwined with it. It gets around the YouTube.
Yeah.
like you talk about what?
How do we say this?
And those two things mesh perfectly with this crazy psyched out color palette.
Oh, it's so good.
And
I would say, okay, so you take Slither meets Breaking Bad, and could be a slight hint of Scanners.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Scanners action going on.
Little Scanners. I actually just watched that for the first time like last week.
It's good stuff.
I was ashamed of myself for not having actually seen the whole thing.
Oh,
I'd never seen it all the way through.
It's
before.
good stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like Cronenberg, man. Like what didn't he do right in the 80s?
He had one marriage fall apart, but that was not much you can do about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's like The Fly. That's what happens.
Just happens.
This was fun.
It was great.
This was a lot of fun.
It's more accessible than Heavy Metal Drummer. So if you picked up Heavy Metal Drummer and you're like, what the? It's
easier.
It's easier
For a sophomore follow up to that. This shows a lot of growth. So big shout out to Pliskin, because like that's a hard thing to do. Like you're like, okay, I'm in here, and you get another shot and you go, oh, let me dial this back a little bit. Let me take my time. Let me build this. Well played.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Very good.
I like. Okay. Now this one, I'm on the fence.
I don't know. Same. I'm very much the same. I was entertained.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Two Graves, number one. It's from Image Comics. We've got Genevieve Valentine doing the story, Ming Doyle and Annie Wu on art, colors by Lee Lowridge, letters by Adita Bidikar.
It's a beautiful book.
It is. Very, very beautiful. And
the way that one of the two main characters is rendered is also very dreamlike.
Yes.
There's something very calming, something very soothing, otherworldly about him, but at the same time, I'm like, nah.
No, there's danger there. Danger. The intro was great. Like, it was enough to, like, I'm like, okay, let's keep going. And then it kind of takes a mythical turn.
Yes.
That I was like, okay, where are we going with this? Like, I don't know. Where are we going? And I kind of left the issue with that same question of where are we going? I'm not quite following what this is.
I love the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I just need to have some things defined. Like, what are the parameters? What's the relationship? But yeah, it's like these two there's two
entities.
On a road trip, and no, because if I say that, it spoils that. With that character.
You can't say that.
It's got a very Sandman-like quality.
I can,
And I can't say what episode or book.
No. It's Sandman.
But there's a real Sandman-type vibe going on.
And I think that's kind of the aim here. One of the things that I do kind of get I don't want to suggest that they are aping in any way, shape, or form. Specifically because I think it's one of the smartest things ever. But obviously, first issues of Aftershock books have like this afterwards kind of piece, and this one has it, and I think that's
really cool.
Yes, so that's why I don't want to say like aping like it's a bad thing. Like, oh, you're just kind of cashing in. That's such a smart way to give just a little bit more content and world building for what you're getting ready to do. So I highly recommend everybody that is creating.
Last few pages, just throw it in.
Yeah, like instead of making a 24-page book, make it 22 with some extras, some writings. Yeah, go for it. Like, why not? It's pretty cool. So again, $12 each, 16 total. If you've got that extra to add to your read pile,
highly recommend.
Absolutely. Moving on to the must-reads.
Yeah, this is a slightly more expensive week.
Slightly more expensive than normal. With good reason, though. Where do you want to start?
16.
Yeah, we're like $20.
Yeah.
Literally $20 for the must-reads. Which is a lot.
Yeah,
we understand.
Yeah.
But again, one of the books that we have is a...
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that one last or do that one first?
I kind of want to do that one first. Is that weird?
No.
Okay, good. Okay. So, 30th anniversary of the death of Superman, which is the big boy of the pack.
Yeah.
It's approximately $11 for this book. Now, there are 4 different stories.
Yes. And DC did a horrible job of promoting this. All right, so there's 4.
Isn't that weird?
Right? There's 4 stories in it.
Yeah.
They brought back the original creative team from that entire story arc.
Yes.
And they do stories.
Yes. Individual stories throughout this.
Yeah. Oh, I wish they would have hammered, like, I don't know. I just sell picture books. What do I know?
No. Okay, so before I get it, okay, so you saw last week's episode, so you know how much we absolutely love Death of Superman, right? Like, its importance is huge. Now that I'm a creator, I have thoughts on how this book was put together. Number one, the story that leads should have been last.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Because, like, I'm like, no. This is the thing that you have to build up to. You have to earn this with this trip through time. Like, is that okay? I'm so glad that that's not weird to you.
Yeah, no, because it harkens so much back to that story, to that issue of that it happened, that it should have been last. I feel like the first story should have been Ma and Pa Kent.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a story about Ma and Pa Kent, and they're watching on TV while that fight is happening.
Yes. It is. So, okay, here we go. Because that actually is my favorite story of the bunch.
Yeah.
And I do believe that a huge part of that is the fact that I am a parent now.
Yep.
And what I clearly call a missed opportunity here with this, no joke, is the chance to sell graphic novels of previous Superman adventures. And here's why I say this. There are specific storylines that are referenced, and they don't tell you what they are.
Yeah.
Why would you not tell? Like, it is such a, like, hey, go buy this.
Yeah. Little asterisk like, oh, and you're going to want to check out this for this. Yeah.
Go buy this. Like, instantly, what Death of Superman did 30 years ago, you could have engineered to do it again with old material by saying, hey, remember these stories? Boom. Like, oh my God. Couldn't you imagine if for the Death of Superman they did a package that was like the 30 greatest Superman graphic novels?
Yeah. Yeah. Drop it in every poll customer gets DC. Have them let us know which ones you want us to order.
Which ones? Come on. Right there. The feel of this is very 90s.
Yes.
And for anyone that is a current reader, I can see that being harder to get into because it is so very 90s. If I'm being honest, I would have liked for this, like, as much as I love who these creators are and what they've done, the voice doesn't quite carry that this is 30 years later in terms of their output. It does feel very 90s. I would have liked for them to pair themselves with a current writer to pull off a kind of a modern execution of a classic idea. To me, it's like when you look at DK3, right? And you have Frank Miller and all the classic tropes of Frank Miller, but then Brian Azzarello goes, okay, is this how we would do this right now?
Yeah.
That
would be amazing.
That would have been the thing. Because, I mean, how many creators that are in the game right now owe their desire to this and would have loved to touch this?
Right.
Like,
you're like a 12, 13-year-old kid when it happened. So now you're in your 40s. You're in the industry. You've got a body of work.
Pretty please, like, can I write this with you? Can I, you know, even if you just played it like a mentorship game, I don't even care.
Which is DC.
Like, legacy style, it would have been Justice Society. Oh my God, that would have been
right.
What? Why are we not in our offices right now? What are we doing wrong?
Restraining order. I can't get.
Okay, all right, fair game. You
got
one too? You got one too? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, all right. I stopped the cease and desist, but whatever. You know, I'm a quitter. I'm sorry. I should have pushed harder. You're right. But no, this was a lot of fun. Overall, it was a lot of fun. Again, like, from an editorial point of view, that first story should have definitely been last. So yeah, there you go. If you pick this up, okay, this is how you should read this. You should start with Above and Beyond. Okay, start with that one, right?
No, I don't remember ever focusing on that family dynamic.
You don't. That's what makes it so good. Because you're just like,
oh my God. Oh crap. I couldn't watch that
at all.
Especially when because you go from our son is indestructible, 2 scoops to everything that tries to hurt him, to holy crap.
Yeah.
Everything that you've known and held
gone. Which then makes the reaction, if you know 30 years ago, one of the characters, what happens to him when that happens?
Yeah.
Perfect play, because he's the one that's like, come on, like, what are you talking about? Like, meh. Oh, okay. So chronologically, though, Standing Guard, I believe, is first. Mm-hmm. And then... Yeah, Standing Guard covers the earliest point to read from, and then Time, and then Above and Beyond, and then you can read The Life of Superman. But I would still start with Above and Beyond. Yeah. Because that one's just
It's heartbreaking.
Powerful.
Like, it's so good.
But yeah, like, come on, man. How many Panic in the Sky trades do you sell on a regular basis?
Not enough.
Could at least sold like 3 right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Just saying.
It's so good. It took me back. It took me back to where I had hair. Like, it's...
It took me back to a time when certain places I didn't. So I get you. Like 1,000,000%. I get it. I get it. This was, because this was a pivotal moment. Like, huge moment.
Yeah, because people came in to shops that hadn't touched a comic in years.
If ever.
Yeah.
No, truthfully, like
it reached out beyond the comic community to just the general populace.
Yeah. Like, imagine what the MCU does without a movie behind it. But just because there was like an announcement that this was
Superman
coming.
dies.
You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, who does it? Is it Lex? Is it this? No, somebody totally different. What? Like
6 million copies of the Death of Superman issue. 6 million. And my nerdy baseball sabermetrics ass did the math on it, and the population of the US at that time was like 250 260 million. So 1 out of every 42 or 43 people owned a copy.
Had at least one.
Yeah.
Okay. And chances are that population dwindles, and there's some people that had like 5, 10. It's a lot. That's amazing though.
Yeah.
Statistically,
it's ridiculous.
One in every 42 people had one.
And my favorite, there's a bunch of different covers for this one, but my favorite is there's a polybagged one that has updated contents. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I'm with that. Okay, where do you want to go after that?
Should we stick with the DC train?
Let's do it. My man, you're reading my heart. The New Golden Age. Yes. This is a one-shot. Slew of folks.
Yes.
We've got Jeff Johns as the writer. In terms of artists, where's the list? Because it's so many friggin' people.
So we got.
They have the proper list. Where is it at?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It is
towards the front, right?
It's in. Yep. Getting close.
Almost there. Aha! Yeah. There we go. Can you do this in one breath? Do you want to try? I don't. Yeah. No.
It's a lot.
Diego Orlatigui with J.P. Meyer and Scott Hanna. Jerry Ordway, Steve Lieber, Todd Knock, Scott Collins, Victor Bogdanovic, Brandon Peterson, and Gary Frank. That just says art. Yeah. Right?
There's not a single section of this story that is not gorgeous.
True.
Like, everybody that put a pen to paper or stylus to screen.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's just amazing.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So... this is Jeff Johns, Jeff Johning in the best way possible. Where, okay, here's an interesting thing. Okay, so we are in a state of pop culture where the impression of Jeff Johns has very little to do with what his writing acumen is. It's him as a producer and other things like that in other places and spaces. And I am happy to go back to Jeff Johns, the writer.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's how I first, got to know of him, and his ability to take classic, long-standing concepts and add just enough to them to make them so brand new that you need them in your life.
Yeah.
Like, this is the guy. This is no joke. Let's go back 2007. Okay, at the end of the Sinestro Corps War, there was an ad, right, like a 2-page spread. That said, in 2009, Blackest Night comes. They were projecting 2 years ahead of an event, internal book event that was coming. Do you know how he engineered? I was a Green Lantern reader for 2 years because of that.
Yeah. When DC went New 52, was it New 52?
Yeah.
That run, the Jeff Johns Green Lantern, was one of the few things that was left in continuity.
Not touched. It does not change.
Yeah.
Because this is, like, it just is.
Yeah.
Like, if you watched Black Adam, and so many people did, and they actually enjoyed it, that idea of Black Adam being anything like a anti-hero at best, joining up with the Justice Society, Jeff Johns. That was him. Yeah. He did that. Like, so what he's doing yet again, taking Justice Society, which he had a phenomenal run on.
People forget about that.
They really do. Big shout out to my man Buzz, who did some of the artwork for that one. Leonard Kirk was on that one.
Yeah.
Bunch of folks on that. He's taking the concept of the Justice Society and going, okay, it's about legacy.
Yeah.
But when does that legacy start?
Right.
When does that legacy stop?
Mm-hmm.
And why?
Yep.
You know, does the creation of the Justice League diminish or destroy the need for the society? No. So, where do we go with this? This was a fun...
Yes.
Like, I don't even know if this is all multiversal?
That
I feel like it could be.
Yeah, because there's aspects of it that I was like, is this all taking place on Earth Prime? Is this Earth 2? What's going on? Because it opens up with your classic Golden Age Justice Society, exactly who you think of in it, and then we get visions of like a future version, legacy characters of that. There's a person that I don't like. I think I know who they are, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that cat.
Yeah. I think it's this person.
Okay.
I think that's who that is. And of course, there's some issues because that person theoretically should be a little kinder.
Yeah.
I want to know who this is.
Yeah, because that's one of the other things I find interesting is that DC is letting Jeff Johns play. They're not giving him boundaries, it doesn't look like. So it's the not necessarily retooling, but the new fresh look at Justice Society, how that fits into the timeline, and then also other stuff that I think he may have gotten railroaded. Like, because there's certain, like Doomsday Clock, I don't think he had full ability to do what he really wanted.
I agree.
And
I want to know whose pages these are.
Right?
Because it reads like Greg Capullo and Jonathan Glapion.
Yeah.
But they're not listed on the creative team here. So I want to know whose work is that?
Yeah. Because once you figure out what actually is... Because at first I didn't realize what I was looking at in that panel. Yeah. And then when I read, I'm like, oh.
Is that Victor? I could see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that's... Yeah, 'cause that character, so cool. And that weaving in a little bit of Doomsday Clock. That won't spoil anything
for you.
Just a little bit. So... But yeah, because I know what that is.
Right? We all know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, without question, we know what that is. But yeah, like, this is a very fun, interesting lead into some really cool possibilities.
Yeah.
We were saying before we started recording how I would argue, faithfully, honestly, that Jeff Johns is the DC equivalent to Mark Miller for Marvel, where the stuff that Mark did, specifically with Ultimates, Civil War, like all these things that Mark set up, were easily translated into the MCU.
Yeah.
So if you take Jeff and you take a lot of his stories, easily translatable into other media, which we've even seen already, right? Like we've got what is it, Superman Unbound, which is his Brainiac story, Flashpoint, like we've seen it. He's already got Stargirl, Black Adam, like it's there. So if you take Jeff Johns and you take James Gunn and you put them together,
it's magic.
I would like to go to there.
I want that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired. All right. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
And it frustrates me to no end that DC cannot get it going.
Plant their own flag. Plant their own flag. Don't even chase Marvel. Plant your own flag.
Yeah.
You literally have existed a solid, 20 years longer than Marvel?
And look at the list of characters you've got.
Like, come on.
Like, God damn it.
Come on. Even if you want to be kind, okay, 3 years.
Yeah.
If you want to give him Atlas, 3 years. But you still are the big brother here.
Yeah.
Okay? Warner Brothers, you're bigger. Figure it out.
This might be the most slept on book of the week.
At least definitely book of the week. Because it was I didn't know. Right. I didn't know what to expect.
We had 2 polls. Two individuals. 1, 2.
One of them being our producer.
Yeah. That polled
How
this
did
book.
you know about this?
Just read a preview for it.
You just read. Do you read previews? Really?
Sometimes.
Okay. That might be a thing. We might have to make that a
Yeah.
we might have to make that a segment where we go through previews.
Be like, okay.
And be like, these are things we want to read.
Yeah.
That might be a show idea. Preview and previews. Okay. So specs number 1, Boom Studios, David M. Boer, Chris. I thought that name was made up. Like, I didn't know who that was. I was like, Boer, what? Who is
Then
that?
I read Kanto. Love Kanto. All New Firefly. I didn't realize he was writing that. I suck. That's
all right.
And that book is
and
awesome.
fellow Ohioan.
Yeah.
What? David, come home. Come home. Let's talk to you. Roman Stevens rounds out the creative team. Okay, so this was one of the first books that I read for the week. And, I'm like, it's a new title. I don't know. Let's test it out. Concept. Loose concept. Those crappy, like, gag ads in comics back in the day? This one has some magic specs.
Yeah.
When you put them on, whatever future you wish for, you see, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's the undertone of this concept. And then we get into the actual story. Wow.
Yeah.
It's
coming of age.
Yes.
It takes place in the 80s in a small town.
Yep.
So
Small town in Ohio.
Yeah, there's a particular kid who is like the amount of pressure that they live under.
Yes. This pair, like, literally.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. It's both of those kids. It's the 2 main characters.
For different reasons.
It's pressure cooker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're navigating. With all that, and you're navigating high school.
Yeah.
Like,
ridiculous. And then they get essentially this genie in a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
And what happens when they're given this kind of power?
Right, because it's not supposed to work that way.
No. Especially when early on they thought that they understood the limits of this power. And
then when you come full circle from the beginning of the comic to the end of the comic,
to that, you're like, oh snap, that's what?
Yeah,
what?
There's so many questions that come from that. Like,
it's good.
Like,
it's good. Yeah, this was a great setup. In terms of issue 1s, you have no reason not to come back for issue 2.
Yeah,
you have no reason. You have every urge, desire, need even to come back for issue 2. Like, you need this. God, when he was given the revelations of what this guy saw versus what he saw, and he's like, how come he knows and he doesn't? And I was like,
right,
that's not even.
And that's and that's hoping. That's hoping that
yeah.
Oh, gosh, dude, I hate that guy. Like,
right?
I'm so. Yeah, you'll understand, because there's bullies as
there always
any
are.
high school you're going to run into. Except these ones are like knife
Legit.
packing. Yeah.
These are bullies as written by Stephen King. Okay, like, that's what it's such a great color palette. Dag nabbit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a really Stephen King vibe. Like, instead of Stephen King taking place like in New England,
it's in Ohio.
In
Somerton.
And as a fellow Ohioan, like, I know, because I grew up, spent the first 13 years of my life in Elyria, Ohio, which is a small city of 50,000 people.
Yep.
So yeah,
this is like, what that looks like. Like,
yeah.
right?
No, it 100%,
like right here.
100% does.
Yeah.
Oh man, because that's when you're given the ability to have your wishes come true.
Right.
How do you maintain safe wishes?
How do you build the rules behind what is okay to wish for and what's not?
Yeah.
His conundrum for what he so desperately wants to be
The strength to not make
come
that choice.
on, man. Like, that is brilliant. Like, I would let that dude be Spider-Man because clearly he can manage having great responsibility with the power that he has because, oh my goodness.
How many other stories are built completely around the person making the opposite choice? And they're held up as a hero.
Every time. Almost every time.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. Insanity.
Yeah, this is so
This
good.
was good.
Because where does that pair go from that? For like finding out that the boundaries of this thing's abilities are totally not where they thought they were.
Totally different. Totally. And I believe, like, okay, with the context clues that they've given us, we are seeing a certain boundary, which is. No, I can't say that.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
That's too much. But yes, like this is such an interesting thing. Like it's, you have the monkey paw analogy, but this is deeper than that.
Yeah.
Better than that even. And yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. This one was really good.
Yeah, it snuck up on me.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. I'm so glad I ordered a ton. And for people out there collecting stuff, there is one of the covers that is strip cover returnable.
Okay.
The other ones are not, but there is one that is. I don't. It's not this one. I can't remember what it is. But
I don't know how many more there are.
That's
one?
cover A, I think.
Okay.
There's a cover. I think it's cover C.
Got you.
That might be the one to pick up because that's the one that's going to be strip covered at some point. But yeah, this is so freaking good because we don't know where. Yeah, I can't really say that.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't say that. You can't say that. Because we don't do spoilers.
Yeah.
We want you to read it, right? You know, we read, we review, we recommend, just so you can come in and do the same thing. So, to that end, that's our show, and we hope that you enjoyed it. If you did like it, click that thumbs up because we need that validation. Tell everybody that you like what we're doing here.
Yeah. Share it on social media.
Yes.
Tag us.
Definitely tag us. We will respond.
And hit subscribe.
Yeah.
Because we do this every week.
Every week. And it's a great time. It's a great time. So to that end, we'll see you guys next week. Happy reading. Show us your read piles. We want to see it. We want your big read piles.
Tag us on Twitter and Instagram.
Cannot lie. Show them to me. Show me your read piles.
Yeah.
That's right.